I am Deepika Sandhu, the CEO of Soul Sparks Press, and I am so excited to be here today with the most hotly anticipated book to come out of Soul Sparks Press since its existence, and it is by the one and only Nekeeya Parks, the Savage Spiritualist. Welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
You know, you are obviously a very beautiful, very successful woman. Someone can look at you right now today and be like, oh, she has it all together. She's done it all. It looks like it was easy and effortless to them. And that is actually where your book starts.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't easy or effortless for you. And I want you to tell us, like, the hard times that got you to the good times here.
Yeah, I mean, I have a saying now that I've learned to adore all that I've endured. And what that means is like, look, we don't get to control, things that life may align, with us, but we do get to control what we make of it. Mm-hmm. So this book is about me kind of changing the narrative, right? I mean, everybody has a story. Everybody has endured some hard shit. Like everybody's gone through some stuff. And my story is not special, meaning I'm not the only person in the world who has endured this. But what is special is that I'm going to tell the narrative that has probably been, perpetuated and, across Hollywood forever and ever in a way that's empowering, in a way that's not from a place of victimhood and, woe is me and the little old kind of marginalized melanated girl who, struggled. And that was very important when we were writing the book. Like, yes, things happened. Yes, there are things that we overcame, but that is not going to be the basis of, what we've created. And so that was very important to me.
Because you've shown it in an empowering light. Like you said, we all have something that we've gone through, and yours was difficult, your childhood, your upbringing, all of it. But you've shown it in an empowering light because you've shown a little girl who always knew it was going to be different for her.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah. I mean, I think in each of us, I would hope that you feel like there's a spark within you that's going to catch on at some point. You don't know when. Will it be when I'm a teenager, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80? But you know that there's something in this. I call it that God piece. And so I never doubted that if I did consistently things that felt, good and aligned, that at some point my life would be the life that I loved. And when I look back at the things that people call hard or people say were trauma, I wouldn't trade it because that is the connectivity to my tribe, to the community that I've created. This is what allows them to see me as a person who, kind of, like I say, got their stretch marks in this thing called life. Like, and were honored and created something that made them feel like, God, yeah, I'm good. I normalized it. That we can have this amazing life, this in spite of, And so I think that people believe that when you see a person that looks a certain way, talks a certain way, came from a certain side of town, you've already determined who they could become. And I'm here to just say, no, that's not what we align to.
But you made different decisions throughout your life. We were talking about this before we got on today, that it does require bold decisions because there are so many points in our lives that we could take the exit ramp and land up where everybody else did. Mm-hmm. But you weren't made for that. You consciously, over and over again, made decisions that were boldly taking you forward. But not every woman feels like they can do that or that they're able to do that, right?
Right, and especially when you come from a community that has the lights are lit up to take you to certain ramps. Mm-hmm. There's an expectation of mediocrity. So yeah, like the system could feel designed to make sure you get off at a certain ramp and get on at a certain ramp, right? So you don't feel like you have much choice, but I always had the power of my own imagination as a kid. So regardless of where I was, I had the ability to see myself in something totally different. And I could decide that this is not what I wanted, even if it was what I saw out of 90% of the people that was around me. Mm-hmm. And we all have that. It's nothing special to one person. That God piece is within all of us. But I think capitalizing on it. The easy route is to just kind of go with the flow,
Right.
go down the road that most travel. It does feel a little bit more difficult to be authentic and to choose something that may not be a fan fave, like in the way that you think.
And you were always choosing differently and choosing boldly, and you weren't allowing things to just happen to you. So, can you talk a bit about making those bold choices?
I mean, I guess in hindsight, they're bold, right? But when you're living in these moments, like we looked at my life and reflect 30 years back. So I'm telling it from a 47-year-old woman's mind, trying to think about what my 7-year-old self must have thought. But the way that I've always did things was, and I know this is probably a bit different, but I always moved towards things that made me feel afraid. I just always felt like if I'm scared of it, it must be something good on the other side of it. Because when you do the things that feel comfortable, I guess it takes you to where everybody always went. And I grew up in a kind of pretty religious kind of upbringing, and I don't know the scripture in the Bible like verbatim, but it was a scripture that talked about like narrow is the path that few people take, and broad is the path that like everybody takes, but one leads to like destruction and the other one leads to like magic. And so as a young person hearing that, I always used to ask myself, is this the narrow path? And if it felt like the narrow path, then that was the one I wanted to be on, because I knew that most people would choose the path that felt easiest.
But the narrow path is hard sometimes, and the narrow path is scary, like you said. And you were able to conquer that and move towards the things that scared you, but not everybody else out there can do that. What do you say to that woman who's like, I don't know that I can go down that scary path?
Well, I'll say that the path that you chose that has led you to the life that you are in is also scary, because you don't like it.
There
You're
you go.
complaining about it.
Yeah.
There's things about it that you don't like, you wish were better. You look at other people and you see that light in them and you would love to have that. So even people who say the narrow path may be hard, it's also hard living in a life that does not feel abundant to you because you took the path that you thought were easiest. So it's kind of like pick your hard. Like, I didn't know that I was picking the narrower path that was going to lead me to a life that felt amazing. I just said, I don't want to create a life that felt like everything else that I saw. So I chose opposite of what everybody else was choosing. That was like my 10-year-old, algorithm that I used. And so now that I look back on it, I understand exactly what I was doing.
I love this. I love this because in those moments, you may not have fully realized what you were actually up to.
No.
But you did it anyways.
No. It's kind of like, okay, everybody's going through that door, but nobody's choosing that door. I want to see what's behind this door because nobody's choosing it. And that's just that was the math I used. That was my girl math when I was younger. Go opposite of what everybody else is doing. So,
and now you've
yeah.
shown people what happens when you go opposite. You've given them almost a blueprint for how to do this because you've done everything opposite, from believing in God to not believing in God, from liking the universe to not really liking the universe, from blazing your own trail professionally to now building your own personal brand. You've done it all, and you're showing people that it's completely and totally possible. And it's so empowering to see a woman of your stature. You like to call it the melanated woman, but you're normalizing that this is possible for people.
Yeah, that's my thing, normalizing melanated luxury. And so, yes, because when we can see something as normal, the next generation of people expect it easily. But when we've saw things all of our lives that did not feel inclusive of people who came from where you came, speak the way that you speak, look the way that you look, who's going to be the first person to decide that I can also have this feeling? This feeling of luxury, it is an energy. It's not just about like the things. It is feeling like I deserve to take up space, that I'm worthy. And so when you don't grow up seeing that, who's going to be the first person to do it so that now my daughter, your daughter, will never think that it's not possible to do the things that people are telling us is amazing. It'll just be like something they do on a Tuesday. It'll be normal.
I love it. I love it. You said that to me last night. We had a big event here in Los Angeles at the Barnes & Noble at the Grove. and big crowd, beautiful event, 22 of our authors there in person. And you said, this will just be your normal Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And it felt that way too. So you're normalizing that for so many people to think big and to think differently about their lives, even if the circumstances, their reality is telling them otherwise.
Yeah. Because it boils down to this for me, for my tribe. What do you think is possible? We got to if you can't see it as a possibility, then it dies on the vine. It stops there. So if you see somebody who's doing it and you can see yourself within that person, and the more things that you have in common, the better. So right now, for women who are of Indian descent, you have just shown them what's possible. They can never not believe it starting now. You've normalized that you can be the CEO of a publishing company that tells stories from a place of empowerment, stories that were taboo for us to once speak on. So now it's never going to be something that they have not been able to see a person who reflects themselves. That's very important to me. I need people, especially people who are in my tribe, and I say, melanated luxury, because outside of like celebrities and like Oprah, like who's our representation? Like I want to be the regular around the way girl who chose something different for herself so that you can see yourself in me and in my decisions. And also look at the actions that I took, the way that I challenged myself to think, the way that I just did not allow what society deemed as the space that I could take up to be what I believe for myself. It's literally a book about challenging what you believe if it does not create the life that you want to live. Don't believe it. Change that belief.
I love it. And I love this idea even of melanated abundance and really leaning into that and melanated luxury, because I think what you're saying is it's okay to want and desire things and not be the celebrity or be the celebrity's trophy wife or girlfriend, right? You get to want it and have it because you want it and can have it.
And can create it.
But that's bold and that's so provocative, right? Because that's not the way that we think about women like you having what you have.
Yeah. And I get a lot of pushback because when I say things like normalizing melanated luxury. Now, melanin is the component, like I guess within your DNA that causes my skin to be darker, yours to be olive, whatever the case may be. But I do get a lot of pushback with people who may not identify as melanated and say, but what about and I'm like, what about us? And I'm like, listen, I am a spiritual being that is inhabiting a human body that happens to be melanated. I want people who are also having that same experience in a melanated human body to say, wow, she had the audacity to take up space and exist. She had the audacity to believe that she could have the very thing that is not presented to her when she's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 years old as an option. And so now I want my daughter and her daughter and your daughter to not even think that they can't ask for a life that feels luxurious and abundant, because I chose to just show up and be authentically myself.
And look what happens to our daughters when they operate from that space, right? They're going to think this is the baseline, not because they're spoiled and have nice things. That's not even what we're talking about, but this is their baseline of knowing that everything is possible for them. And now what they'll do with that is almost too wild for me to even comprehend.
Oh my God. My daughter's 6 and she's fire and spice. So I have, look, I have no idea what she's going to create, but I know it's going to be amazing. And not even from a place of spoiled in things. Luxury is a feeling. You got to feel worthy to feel luxurious. You got to feel worthy and deserving. And how many times in our lives can we think about times when we did not even feel worthy to be in spaces that we were even qualified to be in? So that's a feeling. It has nothing to do with how much luxury brands you can drape on your body, because I've had on luxury brands and not felt worthy to be in luxury brands. So this is an energetics that I want to shift. It's like a spiritual DNA that I want to shift within women who have not been taught that they can even feel worthy to be in a space. That's normalizing melanated luxury.
It has nothing to do with the bag.
Yeah. Get the bag
Get the
if you
bag.
want the bag. But listen, the bag does not necessarily infuse a knowing that you deserve to be here and take up space. When systems, processes, and people remind you daily that maybe you shouldn't be taking up this space. That's mindset. That's spiritual. That is that God piece in you where you say, that's your belief. That's not what dictates how I'm going to move in my life. Because how I'm going to move in my life is only going to be GPS by my own thinking. So if I let how you feel get within me and cause me to see myself as not worthy, then of course that worked. But if I'm bold and authentic and say, oh, I'm gonna take up some space, I'm gonna take up more space than you even think I should, then that is exactly how my life will manifest and create from my own believing and my own energy.
I love it. It's so powerful. It's an energy, it's a feeling, it's a space. And you're allowing women to step into that, to feel into that, to own it, to not hide behind it, and to not get lost in the pursuit of it either, right?
All while being my 100% whole authentic me.
Yeah, I can
Like
vouch for that.
because
You're
you
you.
have this, because we have this ideal of like a melanated baddie when they've secured this life that they're going to present a certain way. And so we have this idea in our mind of how they're supposed to be. That in itself it shrinks and it causes you to dim when you subscribe to that belief that to be in these spaces, I have to show up a certain way. I have to present a certain way. And so I just wake up and say, what would I love? Who am I? What do I love? What do I want to leave as my mark, in the world? And I move towards that. I call it moving towards what brings me bliss.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would I love today? So what would Nekeeya Parks love next?
I mean, the book touches on a lot of elements. And I think what happens after this is my husband and I may co-author something. A lot of the book talks about like our journey together. And because it's a lot of like his journey, I want to make sure that he is, fully on board with talking about, how he's stepped into his own kind of power and taken up space from a place of, a melanated, king who has not been told that they could take up certain space, and how he's navigated even through just his own personal growth and development. And so, and the Savage Spiritualist community, it is just growing. And now I'm doing retreats. I'm leaving here and I'm going to Nicaragua, next week. And I'm doing things that light me up, that changes the culture, and it imparts a magnetism where we are boldly saying, you know what? Look, I'm unfuckwittable, period. Like, whatever that means to you, like, you can't shake my shit. Like, you can't knock my vibe, because I know my vibe is God energy. Like, you cannot make me think that the thing that created the heavens, the earth, the stars, the oceans also created me. And that alone give me like boss bitch energy. So that's just where I'm at. I'm living from that place. And I love this phase of my life. I love this season of my life. And I want women to get this young. I mean, it's all perfect timing, right? Time is not really a thing, but God, if somebody would have told me this when I was like 18, I was like, oh my God, if I would have known you are worthy to be in a space, like, so many times I can think about when I just kind of didn't feel belonging, or I allowed things to make me feel like I didn't. And so now I'm just having fun. I'm like just doing all the things.
And this is why I'm so excited about your book, because you are having fun. You are doing all the things. You're showing women it's possible, that your past story, no matter what it was, good, bad, indifferent, all of it does not dictate who you're going to continue to be in this life, that you can, I'm going to say it wrong, but love all that you've endured.
Yeah, you can learn to adore all the things that you've endured.
There you go.
And because at the end of the day, if you took a list of everything that you will label as bad, and you put them on a sheet of paper, and you had the choice to wipe all of that away and have never experienced it, but in doing so, you may not be this version of you right now, you wouldn't choose it, because you've learned to love this person that's here. I love the life that all things have created. So now I don't even label things as good or bad or trauma. It's just connectivity points, that I get to connect with somebody who may be going through something that I've already kind of gotten through.
Yeah.
And I can tell them, girl, it's great on the other side. Just keep on keeping on. Like, and I can, for surely they will know that because they can see me and that, you know, that have already kind of gotten through it. So no, I wouldn't wipe out the things that may be considered bad or trouble because I chose those.
Yeah.
My spirit knew what it needed to be here to do, who it needed to touch and connect with. So it said, I'll go through whatever, I'll overcome whatever, I'll subscribe to whatever, if it means I get to have the impact on the population of people that I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. And I needed all those things to be able to serve out this time that I'm going to be here, you know, having my human experience. So, you know, I like the sprinkles and the sparkles of my life. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want it to just be bland.
I love it.
all
You
white,
make nothing bland. You you add the Nekeeya to every situation. It's an honor to call you my friend. It's an honor to have you as an author in Soul Sparks Press, and we are so excited about your book coming out.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing the book in me. I mean, you know, writing a book, you know, you have to overcome so much within yourself.
Yeah.
Remember, you want to know if you feel worthy to take up space, start trying to write a book.
Oh, yes.
And watch how that little internal hater and the critics and the whatever start telling you all the reasons why, whatever. But to push through that for me was a true test of, yeah, you're actually living what you're saying. It's authentic. This is not about what's fashionable or what's in. This is really like about taking the next best steps that align with the life that I want to live. So that was it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Nekeeya, for being here today. And you, too, can bring your sweepingly inspirational story to life just like Nekeeya at Soul Sparks Press.